rumours and reports coming in of a rebellion within Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena leader and senior minister Eknath Shinde, along with a few of his supporter MLAs, are not reachable after the Legislative Council elections that took place yesterday. In the voting yesterday, it's suspected that these Shiv Sena MLAs actually cross-voted. Uddhav has called a meeting of all Shiv Sena MLAs at his official residence, Varsha. At least 10 to 12 MLAs from Shiv Sena are believed to be with Eknath Shinde. As per sources, Shinde is now in a hotel in Surat, and that particular piece of information will lead to speculation that maybe, just maybe, the BJP has a hand in this. Shiv Sena leaders seem to be facing now an all-out rebellion. Eknath Shinde, along with several Shiv Sena MLAs, have been incommunicado. They have been unreachable since last evening when the Legislative Council elections took place and the voting happened. There's a suspicion that several Shiv Sena MLAs cross-voted. Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, that's why, has called a meeting, in fact, with all his MLAs. And later today, when that meeting happens, we'll know how many MLAs are with Uddhav and how many aren't. Sahil Joshi is joining us with more details on this. Sahil, big development in Maharashtra. This could prove potentially to be trouble for the Mahavikas Aghadi.
There seems to be a big trouble for the Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi government, and it all started with the Rajya Sabha elections a week back, when almost 10 MLAs from the smaller parties and independent MLAs cross-voted to BJP, and MVA lost its fourth candidate and the second candidate of Shiv Sena during the Rajya Sabha poll. Now, just after a week, when yesterday Maharashtra Legislative Council elections happened in Maharashtra Assembly yesterday, for the 10th seat, the BJP had put up the fifth candidate, and they could get its fifth candidate elected by getting 21 more votes than BJP's actual tally, which means that around 21 MLAs who were supporting Maharashtra Vikas Aghadi cross-voted to the BJP. Though these polls are secret ballots, but what it seems that the Shiv Sena's two candidates who were supposed to get almost 64 votes could manage to get only 52, barely getting elected in the Maharashtra Legislative Council, which shows that almost 12 MLAs who were supporting Shiv Sena and their own Shiv Sena MLAs have cross-voted to BJP. And after that, the senior minister from Maharashtra government, and he was being looked at as Uddhav Thackeray's number two in the Maharashtra cabinet, Eknath Shinde, has gone missing since yesterday night. He was called at Chief Minister's residence Varsha to meet Uddhav Thackeray in the night, but apparently he didn't go there, and after that he is being found unreachable. Not only Eknath Shinde, but along with him almost 10 to 12 MLAs who were supporting Shiv Sena, of which some are the independent MLAs who have joined Shiv Sena after they got elected in 2019, and some are from Shiv Sena, have been found not reachable, and they have moved themselves to Surat, is what we are hearing at this point of time. Now, BJP, if they need to make the MVA government fall, needs at least 12 more MLAs along with them. Now, we'll have to wait and see whether now BJP takes this opportunity and brings no confidence motion against the Uddhav Thackeray government in Maharashtra or not. Because from 5th of July, the Maharashtra Assembly session will begin. But this all started with the Rajya Sabha elections. After Rajya Sabha elections, continuously, twice, BJP had beaten MVA during these polls. And because of that, 21 MLAs who were supporting Shiv Sena have cross-voted. Many independent MLAs had complained openly with respect to the way of functioning, the administration of Uddhav Thackeray, that him being not reachable to the MLAs, him being not available to a lot of MLAs, and they have made a lot of complaints with respect to that. And looking at the scenario, the Shiv Sena not only lost its Rajya Sabha seat, even though they got both of their seats elected in Maharashtra Legislative Council, they couldn't keep their people intact. They almost lost 12 votes during these elections. So it's going to be a big blow for Shiv Sena if Eknath Shinde goes missing, and we are waiting to see what Eknath Shinde says hereafter. But till then, Eknath Shinde seems to be completely missing at this point of time.
On the left of our screens right now, we're putting out images from a resort in Surat. It's suspected that Mr. Eknath Shinde, along with about 10 to 12 Shiv Sena MLAs, are currently holed up in this resort. And that's why you see a lot of security also present outside the resort. The information that we have, Sahil, is that these leaders, along with Eknath Shinde, about 10 to 12 Shiv Sena MLAs are incommunicado. And they've in fact, been missing in action since last evening. The Shiv Sena is clearly firefighting this mega rebellion. And what we're hearing right now is that Sanjay Raut will skip the opposition meeting in Delhi that's been called by Sharad Pawar. The Shiv Sena was expected to be there to show their support also and hold talks on the presidential candidate. That's not going to happen because of this all-out crisis that the Shiv Sena is dealing with. Sanjay Raut is going to be in Mumbai to deal with this issue along with Uddhav Thackeray. How long, Sahil, have these leaders been incommunicado? Do we know an exact number? We're being told somewhere between 10 to 12.
Hearing is that there are 4 MLAs who are from Shiv Sena who have got elected themselves in 2019 in Maharashtra Assembly on the ticket of Shiv Sena. There are some MLAs who got themselves elected independently, but later joined Shiv Sena during the course of time, when the NDA government was being formed in Maharashtra. All these MLAs have left Mumbai after the MLC voting finished at 4 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and since then they have been incommunicado. What we are hearing is that the number goes to almost 10 to 12. Now we have to understand, when the Maharashtra Mahavikas Aghadi government got the vote of confidence with MVA government got passed in Maharashtra Assembly in 2019, they had support of 169 MLAs. Now with 21 MLAs cross-voting, what it seems is that if tomorrow vote of confidence motion happens, then the majority has fallen by 21 votes, which comes down to almost 150 for 56. With that, the BJP needs only 10, push of almost 10 MLAs to make this government fall. Now that is a very tricky task. That is because most of these MLAs who were supporting MVA, the bigger chunk of almost 15 to 20 MLAs are from the smaller parties and independents who don't fall into the gambit of anti-defection law. But these 10 MLAs, if they belong to Shiv Sena, they will definitely fall into the gambit of this particular law, and because of that, they will have to get themselves re-elected. Now, that is where the BJP is trying to push this hard. Eknath Shinde going to Surat itself shows that definitely he's been in touch with the BJP leadership, and now where it goes is something what we have to look at. But this is certain that the MVA government is surely in trouble. After 3 years of being in Maharashtra, this time after the Legislative Council polls, the Shiv Sena definitely is in trouble, and after that it looks like that even the MVA government will fall in trouble.